Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays, and I'm in the Schlieffen, a tier 10 German battleship. I'm on the map North. It's a 3-point domination game. It's a tier 10 game with no submarines, although there is a carrier. And there are 4 destroyers, so I should probably prepare for some fish. Now speaking of fish, our carrier has found the Yugumo, which has smoked up, and since I'm not well, actually my consumer is pretty good, so now I'm detected, which means the Yugumo might be close enough to actually launch some fishes my way. Now I do have my friend in the daring here to provide a little bit of spotting, but I'm just gonna turn away for safety's sake for now. I guess I could push in with Hydro. Also keep in mind this turn comes with a certain amount of risk, because there's a Friedrich. Well, the Friedrich is shooting high explosives, but if it had armor piercing loaded, there would have been a risk. Although Friedrich isn't known for being that accurate. But the thing is, there is another destroyer inside A, so if I had kept pushing in, I might end up being cross-torpedoed. And even with Hydro being cross-torpedoed is not a very pleasant experience. Now, my division mate Valkyrie here has found the Yugumo, and this Yugumo is not gonna escape. Now, of course, the Yugumo used its smoke to escape the carrier earlier, otherwise it could have just disappeared right now, but too bad for the Yugumo, right? Meanwhile, the enemy Friedrich keeps pushing in for whatever reason, and we have a lot of fish going towards it, and now we got a lot of secondaries going towards it. Now that Friedrich is basically already dead, I'm not sure why it decided to play this so aggressively, but good for us. Like, that Friedrich doesn't have an awful lot of help there. Now once the Friedrich's dealt with, that just leaves the daring. And for some reason this is the moment that the daring chooses, hey, let's be more aggressive. Now of course, between our daring and Shimmer, and our carrier coming for it, that daring has a lot of trouble. But honestly, if it's just like turned away and we're running, I mean, sure, the carrier could keep it spotted, but you know, if it's outside of my secondaries and it's not like we have that great long-range firepower around here, daring would probably be able to escape, but now it's just dead, which once again is good for us. So we've cleared out 3 ships on this side. Otherwise, not much has happened. I mean, the enemy has taken the sea cap, but we haven't lost any ships either, so this is good news. Now, we haven't actually kept A yet, but soon we will. Now, let's slightly speed this up, because as we've established, we've taken care of this side, and every other enemy ship is on the other flank. Now, of course, the enemy team now has an opportunity to use their numerical advantage elsewhere to sink some of our ships. We have an Öland that for some reason has pushed through here and is now being chased by a Fantask. Now, the enemy is pushing through the 9-10 line, but that's okay. Like, so far the enemy isn't really using their advantage on the other side, right? They have their ships still just sitting there, and those ships pushing aren't doing much right now. But regardless, we lost the battleship. We might be losing the Öland. I'm trying some pot shots there at the Fantask, and everybody's surprised that I didn't hit the French destroyer at 16 kilometers, right? Whoa, I actually. So maybe I should have slowed it down again here, and well, you know, never mind. So I got in a surprise hit against that Fantask. That surprised me more than everyone else. But despite that, we are once again running out of targets. Well, there's Baltimore. The problem is, you can see the Baltimore is at the edge of my range and it's sailing away. So maybe I can shoot the Bismarck. Bismarck's going behind that island. Maybe I should have tried shooting the Baltimore after all. It looks like it's sort of turning back our way. Now I have to decide what I want to do from here on. We could just easily hold B. While I've been repositioning a lot, the enemy team has taken out a few of our ships. We still have a 1-ship advantage, and obviously we have the caps, right? So if we just hold B, this should work out perfectly fine. Now finally I found some targets to shoot. Well, actually more than a few, I suppose. Now I can shoot this Bismarck. There is a Montana pushing in. And then the enemy is now finally arriving there on this flank. And pushing us. Well, presumably pushing us. I guess they could still just stop. Now the Bismarck's retreating. But a wild Montana appears. Now Secondaries are having some fun. The Montana is reasonably broadside. I'm reasonably broadside to the Montana, which is not a good state to be in. Now I could try to intercept the Montana in a way, but the Montana is pushing into my friends, like the Daring and the Shimakaze. And honestly, that Montana is so dead. I mean, between those two guys, they not only have their two smoke screens, they have a boatload of torpedoes, they have even single-launch torpedoes to just farm the nose of the Montana if needed. There is no way the Montana is gonna survive this push. Which means I can leave that in the capable hands of my division mates, and instead I can go brawl the Moskva and the Kremlin that have chosen to keep moving forward. Now ship-wise, it's still relatively even. But I'm feeling reasonably confident around here. Oh, hey, there is a Pommern. If I keep pushing like this, I'll show broadside to the Pommern. Now, once again, Pommern not known for the best main guns. So showing broadside to it might not be the end of the world. Still not a pleasant state to be in. So I've gone a little bit too far forward to avoid Pommern. Which means I'm now gonna angle towards it. On the bright side, if I angle enough, I can get my secondaries going for both sides. My torpedoes look good at the Moskva, so I'm feeling relatively confident. Now the Kremlin has decided to not actually challenge me here, which is good. Well, I mean, it could be torped if it did. But if the Kremlin came around here, then that Pommern crossfire would be a lot more problematic. Now I've decided to trust my torpedoes and secondaries on the Moskva, which might be a mistake because my torpedoes are painfully slow. My secondaries on the other hand are doing a reasonable job. There is a torpid, and I'm afraid the Moskva is healing though. Now the Pommern seems to be disappearing behind an island. Yeah, let's just shoot the Bismarck. Of course, I do have pretty reasonable turret traverse, but turning my turrets from the Pommern to the Moskva takes quite a bit of time. So I was so confident that I'd sink the Moskva otherwise that I just completely focused on the Pommern. Might have been a mistake. Now let's just go after the Moskva. Now, still got a little bit pummeled in my left, I think, by that Bismarck. Well, let's see what we can do to the Moskva. Now the Kremlin might be waiting here, so I can't go like nosy in towards that Moskva, I've realized, otherwise I'll get too farmed by the Kremlin. Oh, the Kremlin is just dying anyway.
Unser Sieg ist in Sicht.
Well, the Moskva might finally go down now. Well, there we go. That Moskva survived longer than expected. Yeah, our team is doing pretty well currently. Now there is a Halland still somewhere. Oh, and there is obviously a carrier that has found me right now. My Hydro is running, so I should have at least some reasonable warning if the Halland comes my way. But the carrier is now my focus. So I'm once again engaging the Pommern there, but the secondaries might just have this. Maybe I'll add my rear guns to the mix. I'm contemplating torping it, but it's so low already. No, the real prize is the carrier in front of me. Because what's better than ending a game by sinking a carrier? And honestly, I could have earlier used my rear guns here against the Pommern, but... Yeah, no, I'm not leaving the Pommern for somebody else. Well, hello there, carrier.
Problem gelöst.
What a way to end.
Welcher Flugzeugträger?
So, honestly, this was quite a fun game in the Schlieffen, I have to say. And, well, any game in the Schlieffen where secondaries go nuts is probably a good game. I have to say I could have played this a little bit better there, especially in the last brawl where I went into a crossfire, sort of. And then I would have just focused on the Moskva because I overestimated what my torpedoes and secondaries would do. But be that as it may, it was a fun game. I had fun playing it, I hope you had fun watching it, and I'll see ya next time.